All right, first YouTube video. Not gonna do no intros. I'm gonna jump straight into it. I got my bullet points here. I might not even use them. So, what has taken the internet over? There is something that's taken the internet by storm for about the past 2, 3, maybe even 4 years, right? Dating and relationships. The dating market, dating and relationships. We got the red pill now, the manosphere, all these podcasts, women doing podcasts, videos, clips. Before I get into it, I do appreciate a lot of the information because even in my own personal life, you see, coworkers, acquaintances, not a lot of my friends really, but I do see that a lot of men actually do need the information. So I appreciate the information. The problem is I feel like the information is always lacking a true perspective, like a raw perspective. It's almost like an iceberg. So we all on the Titanic, and there's that goddamn iceberg, right? And everybody can see the top of the iceberg. So everybody knows that information. That's why everybody you listen to damn near sound the same. It's almost like they're regurgitating each other. Everybody can see the top of the damn iceberg, so that's all they got to talk about. But nobody's getting underneath the surface and actually touching the raw, the real substance of the information that you need. So I kind of wanted to jump in to throw in my perspective, and I'm not red pill. I'm not. And as these videos go along, you're gonna see that. I know that I'm gonna be thrown in there though, so I'm cool with that. That's fine. I'm gonna be thrown in there. I don't got no problem with that. So let's get to the very core of the situation. The dating market. The dating market itself. We're gonna attack the very first thing in the very first video, the core of the whole conversation, the dating market. So what is being told to you about the dating market, right? You're being told that the dating market is ruined. The dating market is trash. It's destroyed. And what's the cause? Okay, the cause that you're being told is that the dating market is destroyed because women have now started to extremely overvalue themselves. What's the damn stat that they love? They love them stats. 80% of women only want the top 20% of men, right? It's always been like that. Do you actually think that over time that shit has changed? I don't think that has changed throughout history. The concept itself, I don't think that has changed at all. Nothing happened to where that idea is now just popped up. Do you see what I'm trying to say? I think motherfuckers in 1200 BC, I think women in 1200 BC, 80% of those women wanted the top 20% of men. Wanted the top. See, y'all, I'm seeing these clips and videos, I'm hearing shit, and this is why I kind of want to jump in because I hear this shit, and it's like, do you think that concept has changed throughout time? Do you think that concept has changed? Okay, I'm gonna do an example, and as these videos go along, y'all gonna realize that I watch a lot of movies, a lot of shows, a lot of anime, so I'm gonna do a lot of references. So if you up to date on Marvel, you gonna keep up very quickly. It's not that hard of a reference, obviously. If you watch Loki, you know what I'm talking about. So this is the sacred timeline, all right? Over here, we're gonna be in the present. This is us over here. And this is the past. Now, you're being told the dating market is fucked up because 80% of women only want the top 20% of men. Do you actually believe that from the past to where we are right now, that there was a nexus point that happened that sent us into an alternate timeline to where now all of a sudden 80% of women want the top 20% of men? Do you think the concept has changed from the past to the present? What happened in between here that sent us into an alternate multiverse off of the sacred timeline? I don't think shit happened. I don't think nothing's changed. I think that's always how the world has always ever been. That's what I believe. I think we're now seeing the world as it always would have become. This is what it would have always been. We're just now living in it. We actually got to that point. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Do you actually think in feudal era Japan or China, when they had emperors, do you think the daughter of a farmer didn't want to be with the emperor? Everybody got preferences, all that shit. That's not what I'm talking. I don't want to hear preferences. Do you think that women at the bottom or the mid tier did not want, that's very key, they did not want to get with the top tier men? I don't think that concept has changed. I think your perspective about the dating market is actually being fucked up to make you believe that today's dating market is ruined. No, bitch, this is the shit. This is how it's always ever been. This is what it is. This is the world as it was supposed to be with the dating market opened up. So what actually happened is a couple things, but one of these things everybody already knows about because everybody always talks about it. The internet, transportation, communication, dating apps, all this shit that is pretty much communication and transportation, ease of access. That was one thing that happened. That was probably one of the biggest things that happened that got us to today, right? Now, people of different social economic statuses can actually talk to each other and they don't have to physically be in the same place. You can shoot a DM. You can shoot a message. You can message on YouTube. You can message on Twitter. You can message on Instagram. You got regular iPhone messaging, Android messaging, whatever the fuck. You can video call, regular call. Transportation is much better. Now people can just fly to Japan. You can just fly to New York. We just have an open dating market now, specifically between different social economic statuses because of the resources that we have. Another thing that happened, right? So we have transportation, internet, all that wrapped in one. Another thing that happened was we now have less racial and cultural discrimination, right? And this allowed for more acceptance. So now more people are accepting different people in different social economic statuses, different races, different cultural backgrounds. So now you really open the dating market up. So I'm gonna do an example, right? Again, the present, the past, okay? And I want you to understand, think about the concept. 80% of women want the top 20% of men. Do you actually think it has changed? They want the top 20% of men. So we're gonna go back to the past because these motherfuckers love the recent past, right? So let's go back to the past. We're in the present. Let's go back to like 1960. Okay? We're gonna take just a regular guy, regular white guy. This dude just got out of college. He like 23, 22, 23. He just got the lowest level of a corporate job, fresh out. He has his options, right? There are women around him. He has his options. All the way up the social economic status, we have people like Hugh Hefner, Elvis Presley. These people have tons of options. Damn near unlimited options, right? A plethora. Do you believe that this guy's options would not have wanted to get to that level, to the men of those levels? Do you think they want to stay? They sort of hover around this guy. This guy's options sort of hover here and they don't move because they have no access to get up here. To get to Hugh Hefner, you have to be there physically. You have to get to the Playboy Casino. You have to get into the Playboy Mansion. You have to get to the parties. Do you see what I'm saying? You have to be around him physically. Over here in the present, you don't have to do that. So understand, over here, do you think they did not want to be with the top tier men? Do you actually think the concept itself has changed? Let's shift these exact people over to the present, okay? Now, these women that are around this guy, they have a means of escape. They can flee because they can actually get in contact with these people up here much easier. There's damn near no barrier. There is a barrier, but it's damn near no barrier because you can just shoot a message. You can shoot a DM. You can find a way. All these social media platforms, all these dating apps, you can find a way. They can get to these top tier men. So it seems as if they're fleeing. They can get away from you. So this guy seems like he has less options. But do you think that the concept has actually changed? Do you think that 80% of women over here in the past did not want to get to the top 20% of men? Man, that shit has always been like that. That shit has never changed at all. Y'all just have a fucked up perspective now that makes you believe that this shit has changed. This shit has not changed. It's been that way, I believe, personally me. That shit has been that way since forever. You literally cannot make me feel any different. I don't think this shit has changed. I think y'all's perspective has been fucked up. So now you think the dating market is ruined, and it's actually fucking y'all up. Fucking some of y'all up. It's destroying a lot of y'all's mental about the dating market when you need to understand that the world hasn't changed. Well, the world has changed, but the concept of that part of the dating market, that shit has not changed. It's exactly the same. I don't think anything is different because on this sacred timeline, you cannot point out anything that happened that created a branching timeline. I think all the women wanted the Pharaoh. Back in the times of when Egypt was in reign, in power, most of the women probably wanted the Pharaoh. Do you actually think that shit has changed? Do you see what I'm saying? So this is how we are going forward. And y'all are damn near trying to fix this shit. Nothing's broken. Your perspective is destroyed. The dating market is fine. This bitch is actually perfect. This is what this shit is supposed to be. This shit is perfect. I need it like this. I'm trying to get into the top 20%. You're not trying to get into the top 20%? I don't give a damn that women only want the top 20% of men. Where the fuck you thought I was trying to go? That don't even, I'm gonna leave that alone. So I'm gonna try to stay around this topic for a couple videos. It's more like a series. I already got shit planned out, so I'm gonna stay around this sort of topic. And the next thing I really wanna tackle is the matrix, because a lot of people try to bring up the matrix and they try to, especially that red pill shit, because I'm not gonna get into it. That's for another video. But definitely understand what I'm talking about and think about my perspective and try to see the flaw in what you're being told, okay?
I think we're honest.